Hi everybody and welcome to Astrology Updates with Gretchen Heidel. It's March 26th and there's a lot of astrological energy this week, so I'm just going to get started. On Monday the 26th, we have a conjunction between Mercury and Uranus, both in the sign of Aries. Now Mercury is the planet that rules over communication and travel, and Uranus is the planet of unexpected events, sudden upsets, change, really, it's just change. And also, it's electricity. And I actually call these two planets the live wires of the Zodiac. These two are very kind of, hyper kinetic, energetic planets. And they're going to be actually forming a conjunction, which literally means they're going to be on top of one another. And so we're going to have an access to plugging into some of this energy. However, with Uranus's influence, remember that's unexpected events and some things. So we could experience even some glitches with technology, especially technology, cars, airplanes, travel, that sort of thing. It's not like a full-out Mercury retrograde, but for sure, we are getting into the zone of Mercury retrograde, which is, again, coming on April 9th. It's going to be in the sign of Taurus then. So remember to mark that on your calendar. Then we get into Monday, and Monday, oh my goodness, on the 27th is a really great day, a fun day. So we're going to start with Mars forming a sextile, positive sextile with Neptune. Now Mars is our energy and how we go, and Neptune is our dreams and sort of dream. Sometimes Neptune can be a little hazy, a little fuzzy, but it's really good for intuition and it's really good for creativity. So with Mars's energy kind of harnessed into this Neptunian energy, there could be some fun things. Now, it's Monday, so it's not conducive to being like hardcore on your schedule. In fact, you might even want to sleep in this day, or you might want to just sort of take some time to drift or dream or whatever. But Mars and Neptune meeting up together means that we can really tap into sort of, let's daydream about our goals. Now, speaking of goals, wow, new moon on Monday as well. And so we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Aries. We have a new moon once every month, and that's not unusual at all. But we only have one time per year when it's actually in the sign of Aries. New moons come when the sun and the moon are both in the same sign. And so that's how we know it's a new moon versus a full moon when the sun and the moon are in opposite signs. You can see how there's a difference in energy there. The moon, the sun, both again conjunct, both again together. That's what it means, it's conjunction. In Aries, we have a lot of Aries energy. So new moons are all about new beginnings, manifestations, new moon manifestations. If you have been following my Facebook page for a while, you will know that I advise you to take some time to really write out your hopes, your goals, your dreams, things that you would like to manifest in your life, and this is the day to do it. Now the new moon becomes exact at 10:57 p.m. Eastern Time. So obviously it's a little earlier if you're Mountain Time or on the West Coast or even in another part of the world. So you want to make sure that you kind of close to that time, we have the benefit of it being at sort of a reasonable time if you go to bed, around that time. In other words, it's not 3 or 4 in the morning, it's 11 o'clock at night. So let's write out our hopes, our goals, our dreams. You want to do that in great detail on your list, but you are not writing out the how those things are coming into manifestation, how those things are going to come to you, because that's our humanness, that's our ego trying to dictate what's going to be happening. So for example, if you're trying to manifest money, sometimes we say, well, I want to win the lottery, because that's the only way in our human mind that we can conceive of actually coming into money. But what if it comes in a totally unrelated way, and then we're dictating lottery? So instead, I want you to write out, I want to manifest maybe $100,000 or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. In other words, the big picture and not the small detail of how, the what versus how. And so what I tell people to do is to make a list and then put it under your pillow. And you want to marinate on that energy, dream on that energy, sleep, at night with, your head on your pillow, and really have that come into your physical aura, your physical space. Then you're going to dispose of it on the full moon. The full moon is the height or the peak of an experience. And so that's when you get rid of your list. Burn it, shred it, whatever. But you want to find a way to get rid of it. I prefer to burn mine outside, but I'm obviously in the country here in Vermont, so I can do such things. But if you're in an apartment or high rise or something, maybe you could shred it or just kind of rip it up into teeny pieces or something. So anyway, we only have one opportunity per year. So new moons are new beginnings. Aries moons are new beginnings. New moon in Aries is new beginnings. So new. And this is a really powerful new moon, and I want you to take full advantage of it. Now, moving on to Wednesday, we're going to have a beautiful, nice trine between Mercury, again, in communication in the sign of Aries, is going to form a positive trine with Saturn in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, these two signs, or these two planets, one is talking, again, travel, communication, that's Mercury. Saturn is goal setting, okay? How you do things, structures, systems, what's the plan? Saturn's all about the plan. Okay, so we really want to talk about and maybe even write down again what our goals are. You can hear this is a very goal setting, especially the beginning of this week is a very goal setting time frame. And we want to really ride that wave and how. And really Saturn is actually more about the how. How are we going to accomplish this? Saturn's the stern father archetypally. So how are we going to accomplish our goals basically? And that's going to be taking us into Thursday, the 30th in March. That's not such a fun day, I will just say. So Thursday's our glitch sort of out of this week. And what's going to happen is Jupiter, the planet of optimism, good fortune, is going to square Pluto, which is death, destruction, rebirth, transformation, Phoenix rising. These two, and even the planet of Uranus, have really been sort of contentious. Last week, March 23rd and March 24th, Mercury actually squared Pluto and then opposed Uranus. So these two have been kind of really all month in March, have really been acting up, if you will. They're not working on the same page right now. They're really contentious. I had predicted actually that there was going to be some sort of secret revealed or things that are happening, and for sure those types of things did come out on the news in reference to political atmosphere. There was a lot of things kind of uncovered last week. So Jupiter and Pluto right now are squaring off. They're not playing on the same page, so our optimism is dampened for sure. We're kind of feeling a little like, oh my God, we might have to scrap something and restart something. It depends on where Jupiter and Pluto are in your chart in order to know how that would affect you personally. But I will tell you globally, it's pretty contentious. I mean, Pluto rules over nuclear, terrorism, missiles. Okay, so that's not fun at all. So on a personal level, we might have a contention. I want to ask you as the viewer, what happened last week? Thursday, Friday, and if you had any contention, any little thing that might come back again this Thursday, we might feel another layer being pulled away or uncovered from those two planets. And so we really want to just make sure that we're, learning those lessons. On Friday, Mercury again. We were talking about Mercury a lot this week. Friday, Mercury is actually moving into the sign of Taurus. So Mercury's been in the sign of Aries, and now we're going to be in the sign of Taurus, and it's going to be in an extended stay in the sign of Taurus for a while, really, because it's going to be in Taurus and then it's going to go back into Aries because it's going retrograde. Remember, retrograde is a phenomena where the planet appears from our Earth to be going backwards, and that's considered, the planet's then considered to be weakened. Mercury is going to be coming up to a Mercury retrograde on April 9th. So we're going to be in Taurus initially, and Taurus is all about, material, your earthly needs, your finances, practicality, like things you own, cars, and just different things. Cars are kind of a funny thing because it's an asset. And so assets are Taurus type of things. Sometimes Taurus is associated with luxury, so we can, overspend a little bit. But right now we're talking about practicality. We're talking about, again, having a plan. This is a more earthly, spiritual, like what makes our life comfortable, our earthly needs. And so we're going to be in that sign. I will tell you, a lot of Tauruses are very tactile, or you can see it, hear it, smell it, touch it. That's a lot of Taurus energy. And so it's a very earth. It's earth. And of course, it doesn't surprise me that we made Earth Day actually when it was in the sign of Taurus, because that's such an earth energy. It's really an earth sign. So getting outside, reconnecting with Mother Earth, nature, all those things are really, it's really the time to do that. So Mercury being in that time is really about, making sure that our earthly needs are taken care of, whether it's a budget, a savings plan. Mercury, Taurus tends to be associated with money and materialism. So we think that's negative, but yet we all need it. And it's something we all have and something we all want. So let's go ahead and just state it and then move toward it. This is a good time to be practical. Coupons, savings plans, different apps that you can use on your phone to kind of, stash away money. There's an app called Stash, and there's an app called Acorns, and all these different little apps that can help save money. I am in no way affiliated with those apps, by the way, just a disclaimer. But it's that time. It's also a time to rake up our yard and start cleaning, and doing that earthly thing. And so next weekend, as we move into next weekend, there's not too much activity. So I'll be talking more about that as we go into next weekend. But I wanted to just touch base with you, give you this astrology update. Again, I'm Gretchen Heidel, and I'm available for private sessions via phone, Skype, FaceTime, or in person in Burlington, Vermont. Anyway, take care, have blessings through this week, and happy new moon.